Hey guys, it's What's New and Good with T and D. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have a really great guest on our show today. But before we talk about the guest, we were going to see what's new and good with T over here.
Okay, so I know I usually tell my story first, but I'm going to save my story because one of the funniest things, I don't know what it is, but every time Dee and I go out, something happens. And it is to where we laugh so hard, usually, that we cry. Or in this case, Dee actually, when she realized how bad it was, she actually went to the floor and she was doing this. And I couldn't hear anything, but I knew she was cracking up because I was cracking up and tears were coming out of my eyes in the middle of Walmart. And it was just recently. I know, she's shaking her head. It's kind of funny, y'all, because it all started out earlier in the day when we are both moms who we have a couple of seniors that are about to graduate. And a whole lot of things go with that, in addition, of course, to our everyday other kids
Business
and lives and things like that.
errands.
And so, Dee, I'm going to let you start with your little snack that you decided to have on that day.
So, yes, T and I had a very long, eventful day, working all day long, running all over town. We're trying to get ready for an upcoming event, and I was a little stressed. I'm a very healthy person, I like to think, but when I do get very stressed, I tend to go to one of my go-to snacks, M&Ms. I got a box of M&Ms, chowed those babies down while waiting on one of the boys to get out of school. Little did I know, I dropped a few in my lap, got out of my vehicle, and later in the day, I hadn't even noticed, but had gone and ate at a restaurant with T. She pointed out to me I had a little brown spot on my backside. Well, little did I know, I didn't get it off. I went to the restroom. I did not get it off, wiping. And by this point, it's blended into the actual material of my clothing. She's still laughing because she says it's still there. We head over to a store in Lancaster, walking through the aisles. And I said, oh my gosh, I can't see it. You know, I'm twisting my body. I'm like contortionist trying to see what it looks like. She's still laughing. And I'm like, just touch it or take a picture of it so I can see it. She took a picture, and I kid you not, it was a blurry spot just smeared into my pants, chocolatey looking. But
It was funny, though, because just
Poo-poo.
before that, as
Poo-poo.
we're getting out of the car to go in and do our shopping, she's like, I'm just going to own it. I'm just going to own it. This is before she saw that the spot was this big. So I was like, I'm going to let her own this. And so when we get in there and when she does see the spot, that's when she goes, oh. And that's when I just burst out laughing.
oh my
Because
gosh.
I was like, who does this happen to and how did this happen? But that kind of goes along. This one's not quite as funny, but it goes along with who our guest is today and some of the things that
Kind of
he is
goes
going to
along
be
with
sharing.
it.
It kind of does. He's got a lot of confidence, and he very well should. A lot of people I know, I respect him. I know Dee has learned too well. She's gotten to know him more so recently, and she respects him. There's just a whole lot there that he's going to share with us. But it does have to do with military. And I, as a veteran at one time, when I was in the reserves, I was headed back and I was dressed in my uniform for my reserve weekend and stuff. Well, of course, that lovely weather. And combat boots just don't do very well on ice. I'm not quite sure what shoes really do that great on ice, but my boots didn't do well that day. And I'm walking into the mall and I'm doing my thing and I just wham, I wipe out. And it's when people
I can
are
envision
just like,
that, though.
yeah, but this is the thing. I was like, you know, you get up really, really fast. Did anybody see me? Now I think I would
Everybody
just sit
saw
there
you because
and
you're-
I would
you're in your
laugh
uniform.
hysterically. Exactly. I would laugh hysterically and just own it, you know, now. But no, back then I was just up super fast and just kind of going about it like nobody saw it. But have you ever done that? Have you ever done that where you are just all dolled up and you're ready to go and maybe you had something on your face and you don't realize it? I usually look at my kids or you or somebody when I see something and I'll go, why didn't you tell me that was there? Why didn't you? Like, I didn't see it. That's probably because, you know, people don't always look at you like that. So it's
Or
just,
stare at your backside and
Oh, yeah.
comment that you have a poopy spot back there as well.
I just let her own it. I did, and I just walked with her as her friend, just like so proud, so proud. But it does. It happens to the best of us, and that's something I do say often. So if it happens to you, just laugh it off and go with it. We do have a great guest today, and I'm so very excited because it's Major Retired Matthew Donald, Donald Law Office. They have a location in Baltimore, and he is a veteran himself. And Dee, we're going to get to him in just a few minutes, aren't we?
We are.
Great things happening today on What's New and Good with T.
Andy.
Come experience the Huddle Tire difference. Locally owned and operated since 1910, we're your independent tire and auto repair shop. We carry all major brands of tires, including Goodyear, Cooper, BF Goodrich, and many more. But we're more than just tires. From safety inspections to alignments, brakes, shocks, and struts, even preventive maintenance, we can handle it all. Enjoy the ride at Huddle Tire Company, 300 South Columbus Street, or we can be reached at our website at huddletire.com.
At Dagger Law, we have more than 110 years of combined expertise in nearly every part of law.
What I think sets us apart from any other law firm is our ability to work together.
With us, you're getting a trusted partner, in addition to a team who can help you with a growing business, changing family, planning your future, or dealing with land issues.
It's a challenge every day, and you meet an awful lot of nice people.
Your case matters. We'll take the time and the energy to ensure that you have a quality experience, quality representation.
Whatever you need, we have a lawyer who can help. Dagger Law. Local, trusted, experienced.
Hey, you guys, we are back. It's What's New and Good with T and D. We're here joining our special guest, Major Retired Matthew Donald with Donald Law Office.
So excited to have you, Matt.
Good to be here. Thank you, ladies.
So
It's
glad
like
you could be
TD
with
and
us.
M, right? Can I get an M in there?
Can I
TD
get an
and
M?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
Oh, that's great.
Matt Donald, I had the opportunity to get to know you. Actually, it was a pretty cool story because I was doing an event here in Lancaster at one of our Lancaster Parks and Recreation at Rising Park, and I had gone to the VFW in Baltimore, and I did a little presentation because I was looking for donations at that time, and you happened to have approached me afterwards,
Yeah.
and then that is where our friendship actually started, and ever since I was just kind of, wow, what a neat, fun, interesting guy who is so passionate about his job, his career as an attorney, as well as what he does for veterans. So I really think that we need to start off with you as a veteran, Matt.
Okay.
He's always, knowing him for
Yeah.
a few years, he's like, it's so impressive in the way you got started. Why did you decide to join the U.S. Army?
Yeah, I always kind of felt I was fortunate as a child, and we didn't have the best home life. Let's say but it wasn't bad. But I always felt like I was blessed and I had an opportunity to give back. So I wanted to do something where I felt like my freedom. I was born into it, and I felt like I owed a debt. And so I joined the Army when I was 18, and I spent 6 years as an enlisted soldier. After about 6 years, I had an opportunity. The Army gave me a scholarship to go to college, get my undergraduate degree. I came back in as an officer and spent the last 14 years of my career as an officer when I retired from teaching Army ROTC at Ohio State. And then I had to figure out what I had to do now because I was all growing up. I had to get a real job. And so I decided, well, I'll try this thing called law school. And I became a lawyer, and I found an opportunity to work and help veterans. And I thought, this is great. I continue to serve other people just like I did as as an officer in the Army, and contribute and support the veterans and the widows and widowers of veterans. And it's just been a great experience since.
What is the number one thing that you learned in your military experience that you have brought into your civilian career?
I think the most important thing is that you should never really overvalue yourself. And what I mean by that is that everybody is the same. Everybody has different circumstances. Just because I'm an attorney doesn't make me better or worse than anybody else. Some people would say worse. Some people might say better. But if you treat people with decency and it's kind of why I like working with you, because when I first found out the first project you're involved, it was giving back. And so if you can find a way to make things better for someone, and that's what it's all about. And so in the Army, I always said that as a company commander, I had 182 paratroopers I commanded. and when we were in Afghanistan right after 9/11. And I said, a commander without a company simply gets nothing because they're just a person. But a company without a commander will replace a commander in a heartbeat. And so I realized that I was a member of a team. My role was just different. And that's how I do it in my office. I say, I might be the owner, I might be the attorney, but every person that's there is just as important. In fact, I think the person who answers the phone is probably the most important person because they set the tone for everything that person's going to experience.
Well, I was just going to say that I really commend you on not only your services, and thank you for your services, but what you do as an attorney and as a person in general. T and I have had the pleasure of being able to meet up with you and have a few different meetings. That we're working on an event coming up, and you are such a giving, understanding person, and to be able to have you as an attorney, I wanted you to also share something that you also offer veterans that a lot of people don't know about. You were sharing with us right before we got started.
Yeah, I was telling, as I was saying earlier, I had a great experience yesterday. It's probably, over the last few years, been one of the most satisfying experiences that I've had in a long time. I had and we didn't make a penny off it, which was great. And in a sense, I met with a family of a Korean War veteran who, hard of hearing, very difficult for him to get around, limited resources, and he was looking to see if he could get some financial help from the VA. And I explained to him what we could do to help him get his benefit. And there was no other legal work needed done, so I didn't have to do any wills or powers of attorney or any of that stuff. He was set in all that, and I told her we would help her. This is the daughter-in-law, and she said, "Okay, well, what was it going to cost?" And I said, "Well, there's no charge to do the VA benefit. We do it for free." And she said, she gave me that curious look, like, like, "What you talking about, Willis?" And I said, "Good
Different
reference,
strokes.
right? That's
Yeah,
right.
yes.
Different strokes." And I said, no. I said, I'm a veteran. I said, I spent 23 years in the Army. I said, it's our obligation to help other veterans. And she just couldn't believe that she goes, "Well, how do you get paid?" I said, I believe in karma. Someday something good might happen to me because I was good to somebody. I said, but I really feel like this is my obligation to help my other veterans. I said, if it were reversed, I'm sure he would do it for me. Mm-hmm. So it was a great experience.
It's kind of like taking that, and it was something I learned when I was in the military, that teamwork, and applying it, and we're going to talk so much more about Donald Law Office and the two coming together more so in just a few minutes. But it is that teamwork that you had instilled in you from when you were very young, and continuing that throughout your life, and seeing what I think the best in soldiers and people and other humans, and bringing it to your job, and still continuing to be able to offer it to veterans.
Yeah, it's really gratifying. It's like when I left there, that family was almost in tears because I told them, he's 92. Realistically, with this VA benefit, he's going to be able to stay where he's at for the rest of his life. Awesome. He's never going to have to move again, and he's going to have the resources to enjoy a good quality of life. And that was, what more could you ask for? Think you just made the rest of this man's life happy. That's
and
the best
did we
gift.
mention that he was 92?
Yeah, 92.
92 years old.
Yeah, so we were able to make sure that he's not going to have to move and he won't run out of money.
And talking about something that is a huge weight that has been lifted off of that family.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen with their loved one.
Yeah, they were really thinking that, they were going to run out of money and he was going to have to go to a nursing home. And he's not ready for a nursing home. He's well enough that he should be in assisted living and not in a bed where, he's going to end up being miserable the rest of his life.
And folks, what we're going to do is we're going to take a break, and we are going to come back, and we're going to talk a little more about the Donald Law Office side of things and what it is that Major Retired Matthew Donald, that he does at his office, as well as something else that is veteran and military related. And we're going to come back with that in just a few. You're watching What's New and Good with T.
And D.
And M.
At Dagger Law, we have more than 110 years of combined expertise in nearly every part of law.
What I think sets us apart from any other law firm is our ability to work together.
With us, you're getting a trusted partner, in addition to a team who can help you with a growing business, changing family, planning your future, or dealing with land issues.
It's a challenge every day, and you meet an awful lot of nice people.
Your case matters. We'll take the time and the energy to ensure that you have a quality experience, quality representation.
Whatever you need, we have a lawyer who can help. Dagger Law. Local, trusted, experienced.
Come experience the Huddle Tire difference. Locally owned and operated since 1910, we're your independent tire and auto repair shop. We carry all major brands of tires, including Goodyear, Cooper, BF Goodrich, and many more. But we're more than just tires. From safety inspections to alignments, brakes, shocks, and struts, even preventive maintenance, we can handle it all. Enjoy the ride at Huddle Tire Company, 300 South Columbus Street, or we can be reached at our website at huddletire.com.
Hey, you guys, we are back. It's What's New and Good with T and D. We are here with our guest, Matthew Donald, with Donald Law Office. How great has it been getting to know him a little bit better and to hear his story about when he decided to take that oath and becoming, a leader of our country is really what he is.
Yeah, knowing Matt a little bit just in the last few years, he has shared some really amazing stories. And if you ever get the opportunity to even get the chance, and I hope so, to meet Major Retired Matthew Donald, attorney at law at Donald Law Office, and who he is, and I have just been so blessed and honored to learn about a fellow veteran, somebody who, like you said, Dee, is a leader. He continues to be a leader because, my goodness, he sets the standard, I think, for those in his team that is in his law office. And it's just so positive and great to meet a veteran such as Matt.
Yeah.
And with that being said, we did talk a little bit earlier about how you want to make sure that you are prepared and you take burdens off of folks and things like that. And you did that for a fellow veteran at 92 years of age, and you were able to help the family. And I say burden, not everybody uses or thinks of it as a burden, but by goodness, it is such a heavy weight that you have on your shoulders when it comes to your estate planning and being prepared and all of that. And it's a whole lot.
Yeah, the worst thing that families deal with is uncertainty. And so not knowing what to expect. Like this family that I helped yesterday, they didn't know how they were going to pay for the care for their father and their father-in-law. And so being able to provide them some certainty that he was going to be okay the rest of his life. But there's a lot of other things. I just had a daughter who turned 18. And I did the same thing with my other daughter. I said, as soon as you're 18, you're coming in and doing your estate plan. Because once you're of legal age, no one can make decisions for you. And so people ask me, well, when do I need an estate plan? I said, well, when someone else can't make decisions for you legally, you need an estate plan. And that's a whole continuum of life. When somebody gets to their later years, they start to consider, where do I want things to go when I pass? And, the children don't want to have that conversation with their parents. And the parents want to make sure that their children are taken care of, but they're not certain how to do that. So we provide that certainty, that peace of mind for people, no matter what stage of life they're in. And it's really, people ask me, you were a military policeman, you were a paratrooper, how come you're not doing like criminal law or doing some kind of adversarial work? And I said, my reward is measured in hugs. When people leave, I get hugs. And it's true. And anybody who works in estate planning will tell you that it's non-confrontational, it's a win-win. We're happy to help them, they're happy that we're helping them. And everybody just succeeds.
It's a very personal relationship.
It is. I say I don't want clients, I want relationships. I can get clients anywhere, but I want people that are going to be committed to the process that we're doing for them and that we can help them and they know, like we don't charge for phone calls. So I don't know any other attorneys that are like that.
Wow,
maybe there
that's
are.
Awesome.
But any of my clients that had 3 people call today, I'm not going to send them a bill for a phone call. I want them to come to me. That's why they came to me in the first place, because they trusted me. And I want to make sure that they continue to get good service.
Do you sit down in the beginning and make sure that the person that you're going to work with, that it kind of flows and that you're going to work together well?
Yeah, I tell them this isn't just me doing for them. This is it's what we call it is a partnership where they have to enroll in what I'm telling them, and they've got to be willing to participate. And if they're not willing to do that work, I can't help them. And I tell them, I said, I will do my part. And if I don't, I want you to hold me accountable. But at the same time, I'm going to hold you accountable for what you need to do to make sure you're successful, that this does what you want it to do. And I tell them the first meeting is free usually. I said, after that meeting, if you decide you want to work together, okay, we'll agree to it. If you decide you don't want to work together, that's okay too. At least you got some information and you can go out and make better informed decisions.
How long does it normally take an average time? Say I came in and I said I want to do my estate planning with my will and my trust, and
Yeah.
what's the average time that you spend one-on-one, let's say with a couple?
Yeah. Well, with as complicated as you are, it would take a couple years. But no, I'm just teasing. Just teasing. Generally speaking, it's about a 4-week process from beginning to end. But that process could be shorter or longer depending on how hard the client works. So
Okay.
if the client follows the instructions and takes the guidance we provide, we can typically wrap up in about 4 weeks. But if the client needs more time to gather information, that's okay. We can take as long as the client needs. But I tell them the sooner that we put the ink on the paper, the more comfortable you're going to feel, the
Right.
better you're going to feel
Oh,
about
yeah.
your situation.
Get that off, get it done.
Yep.
Something you're not going to have to worry about again.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've got those questions, you want to know what it is all about, then call Major Retired Matthew Donald at Donald Law Office. What is your number?
740-400-4194 or visit us on the web at www.donaldlawoffice.com.
But we're not going anywhere because you are doing something with veterans right now. And what is going on right now?
Yeah, I just said that I don't do adversarial work, but recently I found out because my hearing got so bad that I had some hearing loss from a earplug that I used while I was in the military. Come to find out that the producer of the earplug knew that it was defective. And so I reached out to an attorney because I don't do litigation. I reached out to a friend of mine and he said, yeah, I can help you with that. So I, again, because I'm a veteran, I feel obligated to share that information. So I told everybody I know about it, all the soldiers I served with through social media and whatnot, and just word of mouth. And I told them about it and they said, this guy can help you. And they said to me, well, why, you're an attorney, why can't you help us? I said, well, I don't do this law. They said, well, can you work with him that we can go through you because we know you and trust you. Just got a letter from old First Sergeant. And, he was saying the same thing. He said, hey, I want you to help me on this. And I said, I'd be honored to. I said, you lost your hearing because of this product. They knew it was defective. And, we need to hold them accountable. So, we have about 130 people we're helping now. It's just incredible. It's been... And it's so fulfilling. I don't care what we make off of it. I care that they're going to get the compensation they're entitled to.
Right.
It's just unbelievable. It's been a wonderful ride.
So if you know a veteran and they have served in the military, when again?
2003 to 2015, 3M, or the company 3M acquired, was the sole producer of that particular combat earplug.
Okay.
And it's a dual-sided earplug. It's yellow and black. And if they were in during that time, the odds are they used it. And the odds are if they have any, I don't want to say this wrong, tinnitus or hearing loss, it's because of that product.
Alrighty.
And we can help them.
Your phone number, website?
740-400-4194 or visit us on the web at www.donaldlawoffice.com.
We're going to be back. You're watching What's New and Good with T.
Andy?
And M.
Hi again, everybody. Welcome to the high school football game of the week. I'm Jaron Stewart alongside Tim Shoemaker. Tonight, we've got a great one for you. The Blue Carroll Bulldogs.
We had a great week of practice. Even in the rain and the weather, we had a great week of practice.
Schneider, lots of running room to midfield. He's gone. Ryan Schneider down the near sideline for a touchdown for the Aces.
We have a hold on the offense, number 20. That penalty will be declined. They'll bring up fourth down.
We're going to give you this game ball here because you're a Tiberios fan of the game. And thanks for being here, Jacob.
Thank you. The Polar Bears are your OAC tournament champions. First time since 2009. What an exciting finish for the Ohio Northern Polar Bears.
And be very proud of this trophy because you've earned it.
Hey guys, we're back. It's What's New and Good with TND. What a great show with Matthew Donald. Oh my goodness. Retired major. He's running a law office. He's doing so many amazing things for the people in our community.
The folks who are watching today and they had the opportunity to learn a little bit about Matt, I'm not quite sure if you caught it, and I think those who are veterans may have caught it, but I'm going to remind you anyways. So Major Retired Matthew Donald. Major retired, that means he is retired and he retired as an officer. If you didn't catch it, he started out as enlisted. And when you have somebody who, and he said it in the show, he talked about how you can become overvaluable, like you value yourself too much, where you might think that you're, I'll say it, better than everybody else. Matt is the type of person that in the military, he started down here, very bottom, and he worked his way all the way up. And me as a veteran and in the military, it's not because I'm telling anybody else that they are not as valuable, but he sees things in a different light. It's, for instance, like a CEO of a company that starts out working in the bathroom or in the janitorial service, and where they work their way up. They know what it's like.
And we had just been talking about this, T and I, on the side the other day in our own personal conversation about not judging other people. We are all the same. You know, we all came into this world the same, and we will all leave this world the same. But it's how you treat people when you're here. That's what is important. And he is such a great role model, I think, for so many different people, for the fact that he not only has his own job and his own family to take care of, but he also goes the extra mile, you know, with helping the people that have had the hearing loss. That's one thing he's doing. But also offering that service to veterans that is free. That is a big thing too, and people forget about all of the services that are available to them, especially if you're a veteran, because you don't think you need the help.
Right. And I thought it was neat too, Dee, that you said earlier in the show as well, that he took an oath to his country, and it's almost like he's taken an oath to other folks that are in his world as well, as far as rather you
He's
are somebody
consistently
who's a client,
serving his country,
his family, a friend,
his community.
He just is very passionate about making sure that you are prepared in what needs to be done in whatever it is. Actually, I know he does the estate planning, but it's so much more than that.
And if we could have even touched base on the list upon list of all of the amazing things that he has done, he's even in books. So I mean, pretty incredible person that he is.
He's just so humble about it, isn't he, Dee? Yeah, and we love to support our veterans as well. Hopefully you will be able to do something. If you have, thank you so much in the way of supporting our veterans organizations. Fairfield County Veterans Service Commission in Lancaster, great place to help veterans.
Check out the services that are available through them as well.
Yes, and we do have some sponsors, beginning with Donald Law Office. Thank you so much, Matt Donald and his team. Who else do we have as our
Ava
sponsors?
Jewelers.
Yep, Ava Jewelers. And then Huddle Tire Company. Anything else, Dee?
Just don't judge people, and you know, we're all the same. And I think that having more folks like Matthew Donald that are very humble and are true to who they are.
You know what? One of my quotes is, my life quotes is, don't judge somebody else until you've walked in their shoes, and you're not gonna. So it's the best thing just not to do it. Right, Dee?
That's right.
No judging. We all thank you so much for watching this week's What's New and Good with Tate and Dee. See ya!